Hello and welcome. Welcome to class number 37. Oh, cómo me gusta avanzar. Me encanta el progreso. I don't like digression. I prefer progression. Okay, comer number 1. All right. Is there an airport in Madrid? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Sepúlveda? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Granada? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Fuente Vaqueros? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Salamanca? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Peñaranda? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Bilbao? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Eibar? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Pamplona? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Sos del Rey Católico? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Murcia? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Lorca? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Valencia? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Requena? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Tarragona? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Reus? No, there isn't. Public airport. Is there an airport in Coruña? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Ribadeo? No, there isn't. Is there an airport in Oviedo? Yes, there is. Is there an airport in Navia? No, there isn't. Is there a pen in my hand? Yes, there is. Is there a pen in this hand? No, there isn't. Is there a camera in front of me? Yes, there is. Is there a camera behind me? No, there isn't. Is there a cinema near my house? Yes, there is. Is there a cinema near your house? Yes, there is. Is there a book in my left hand? Yes, there is. Is there a book on my head? No, there isn't. Is there a pen behind my ear? Yes, there is. Is there a pen in my ear? No, there isn't. Is there a pen on my head? Yes, there is. Is there a pen under my chin? Yes, there is. Is there a pen in my mouth? Yes, there is. All right. Is there a pen in my right hand? Yes, there is. Is there a government? Is there a government in Monte Carlo? Yes, there is. Is there a casino in Monte Carlo? Yes, there is. Is there a casino? Is there a casino in Cuellar? No, there isn't. Is there a casino in Torrelodones? Yes, there is. Is there a casino in Madrid? Yes, there is. Is there a casino in Estoril, in Portugal? Yes, there is. Is there a casino in Biarritz? Yes, there is. Is there a casino in Las Vegas? Pooh. Yes, there is. There are many. Is there a casino in New Jersey? Yes, there is. In Atlantic City? Okay. Is there a casino near your house? No, there isn't. Is there a casino near my house? Yes, there is. The Casino of Madrid. Is there a lake in Sanabria? Yes, there is. Is there a lake in Covadonga? Yes, there is. Is there a lake in Illinois? Yes, there is. Is there a lake in Madrid? No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Well, there's a lake in the Casa de Campo, artificial lake, okay? An artificial lake or a natural lake. Is there a river, a big river, a long river in Brazil? Yes, there is. Is there a long river in Monaco? No, there isn't. Is there a castle in Madrid city? No, there isn't. Is there a castle in Manzanares Real? Yes, there is. Is there a castle? Is there a castle in Mentrida? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Peñafiel? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Peñaranda de Duero? Yes, there is. A castle. La T es muda, se escribe castele. La T es muda, se dice castle, castle, castle. Is there a castle in Bavaria? Yes, there is. Is there a castle? Is there a castle in Sepúlveda? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Segovia? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Medina del Campo? Yes, there is. And is there a castle in Tordesillas? Yes, there is. En España, en todos los sitios. Is there a castle? Is there a castle in Ciudad Rodrigo? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Lerma, in Burgos? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Ontoria? Ontoria? Yes, Ontoria de Valdearados. Ah, no, there isn't. Is there a castle in Caleruega? No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Is there a castle in Albalate de Zorita? No, there isn't. Is there a castle in Almonacid de Zorita? No, there isn't. Is there a castle in Zorito Los Canes? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Cuellar? Yes, there is. Is there a castle in Cantalejo, in Segovia? Yes, there is. And is there a castle in Sotosalvos, in Segovia? No, there isn't. Is there a church, una iglesia, in Sotosalvos? Yes, there is. Is there a Romanesque church, una iglesia románica, in Sotosalvos? Yes, there is. And is there a castle in Turegano? No, there isn't. Is there a palace in La Granja? Yes, there is. Is there a palace in Aranjuez? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Is there a palace in Madrid? Yes, there is. Okay. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. Is there a beautiful castle in Dallas, Texas? No, there isn't. Is there a river in Dallas, Texas? Yes, there is. The Trinity River. Okay. Ahora otro profesor me releva un poquito, pero luego vuelvo. No os vayáis. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Bienvenidos a nuestro repaso de hoy, de la clase anterior. Welcome to our review. My name is Richard, yo soy Richard, el otro, claro, y estoy aquí con Pilar, que me va a ayudar como siempre, ¿ok? Pilar, ¿cómo estás? How are you?
Fine, thank you. And
Good.
you?
Siempre decimos fine, ¿eh? How are you? ¿Qué tal? Fine. Da igual si estamos de mala leche o tenemos yo qué sé, un dolor de cabeza horrible. Siempre estamos fine. I'm fine. I'm fine too.
Okay.
Bien, hoy vamos a repasar la forma en que nosotros decimos hay una cosa en la mesa. Decimos, Pilar.
There is.
There is. Good.
No sabía que tenía
Bien,
que
decimos,
decirlo.
there is, ¿ok? There is. Fijaros cómo sale mi lengua de la boca, entre los dientes ahí, al decir there, ¿ok? There. Hay que vibrar un poquito las cuerdas vocales. ¿Cómo se vibran las cuerdas vocales? Pues muy fácil, hacemos y luego haz y luego
There is.
eso es. ¿Ok? Good. Muy bien. Ok, vamos a ver con preguntas. Is there a pencil on the table? ¿Hay un lapicero en la mesa?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Ahí está. Good. Yes, there is. Good. Is there a book on the table, Pilar?
Yes, there is.
Good. Saca tu lengua más. There is.
Yes, there is.
Pero no me mires así. Yes, there is. Muy bien. Yes, there is. Good. Is there a lighter on the table? ¿A lighter qué era? ¿Qué significaba lighter? Lighter es mechero. Lighter. Lichter se escribe pero la pronunciamos lighter, ¿ok? Lighter. Is there a lighter on the table?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Good. Is there a ruler, una regla? Is there a ruler on the table?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Good. Yes, there is. ¿Ok? Muy fácil. Ahora vamos a ver el negativo. Is there an elephant on the table? ¿Hay un elefante encima de la mesa?
No, there isn't.
A no ser que sea invisible.
Yes.
Igual sí hay. No, there isn't. ¿Ok? There isn't an elephant on the table. Siempre decimos on the table y no in the table. ¿Ok? On the table. There isn't an elephant on the table. Y también recuerda que elephant, empezando con vocal, como empieza así, elephant, decimos an elephant, como si empezara por la N. An elephant, con el artículo ahí, an. An elephant, ¿ok?
Okay.
Bien. Is there an egg on the table? Un huevo.
No, there isn't.
No, there isn't, ¿ok? There isn't an egg on the table. Bien, vamos a hacer el siguiente ejercicio. There isn't an elephant on the table and there isn't an egg either. ¿Vale?
Okay.
No hay un coche encima de la mesa y tampoco hay un helicóptero. Pilar.
Okay. There isn't a car.
Isn't, la T fuerte.
There isn't a car on the table, and there isn't an helicopter.
A helicopter.
A helicopter either.
Either, good stuff. Ahora en afirmativo. Hay un móvil encima de la mesa y también hay un pato. A duck. ¿Ah?
There is a phone.
A phone, good. Or a mobile.
A mobile
A mobile, okay.
on the table,
Uh-huh.
and there is a duck also.
Oh,
or
and there's
two.
also a duck, okay?
Ah.
Also después del verbo to be, there's also a duck. O si queréis decir to, que también significa también, se coloca al final de la frase, okay? De la oración.
Okay.
And there's a duck too. There's a mobile phone on the table and there's a duck too. Ahora en afirmativo. Vosotros en casa, ¿vale? ¿Hay un elefante en la mesa? Pregúntamelo. Todos a la vez, venga. ¿Y Juan en Jaén? También, Juan. Hoy estás de buena racha. Good. Is there
An elephant.
an elephant on the table? Good. No, there isn't. Pregúntame. Si hay un libro encima de la mesa. Is there a book on the table? No, yes, there is.
Yes,
en este
there
caso.
is.
¿Hay un patito en la mesa? Is there a duck on the table? ¿Qué hacemos para formular el interrogativo? Simplemente invertimos is y there, ¿ok?
Okay.
There is I, ¿vale? There is y is there, ¿ok? Para preguntar, is there a duck? There is a duck, hay un pato. Is there a duck? Hay un pato. Me quedan 40 segundos para repasar muy rápido las 5 palabras de ayer, que eran a dress, ¿qué significa?
Un vestido.
Bueno, a dress, vale, pero esta es la palabra address, una sola palabra.
Dirección.
Dirección. Va de listilla hoy. Pilar, bien. Ok, address, dirección. About,
Sobre.
sobre o acerca
Sobre un
de.
tema,
Bien.
sí.
After,
Después.
después de, no lleva otra preposición, after. Behind, que tampoco lleva otra preposición.
Detrás.
Detrás nunca decimos behind of, behind me, directamente. Y finalmente, between,
Entre.
entre, pero entre dos. Como between you, perdón, and me. Fantástico, ok, ya no tenemos más tiempo. Ok, os dejo con Richard, muchísimas gracias. Y estudiad.
Welcome back. Hay trabajo ahora, conceptual y teórico, así que manos a la obra, allí. Okay. There's a cup in my left hand and there's a pen in my right hand. Lo digo sin contracciones para aclarar aún más. There is a cup in my left hand and there is a pen in my right hand. Otra vez con contracción. There's a cup in my left hand and there's a pen in my right hand. Okay. Now, there's some water in the cup and there's some ink. There's some ink in the pen dentro. Hay tinta. Acabo de usar lo que se llama un incontable y un contable. Palabras contables, palabras incontables, palabras que se pueden contar. O sea, realmente las tazas, puedes contar las tazas. Una taza, dos tazas, tres tazas. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little cups. Ok. Puedes contar tazas, pues no puedes contar aguas. Mira, me traes un agua más, quiero 3 aguas, quiero 3 tintas. Dame, ok. Entonces, la tinta, lo que hay dentro, y el agua, y la leche, y la carne, no podemos contar. Necesitamos reunirlo dentro de unidades. Necesitamos con el agua embotellarla, 2 botellas de agua, o envasarla, 2 vasos de agua, 2 kilos de tinta, 2 litros de tinta, 2 litros de leche. ¿Ok? Eso es hacer unidad de algo masa, que es abstracta. El agua, water. Hay agua en esta taza. Mi español es perfecto ahí, por lo menos la gramática, no la pronunciación. Hay agua en esta taza. Hay tinta en este bolígrafo. Sin embargo, en inglés no lo decimos así. No decimos hay agua, porque suena mal, suena hasta primitivo, suena a lo plan indio. Gran jefe, hay agua en taza, ok. No, se dice hay algo de agua, literalmente. Hay algo de agua en esta taza y hay algo de tinta. Se delimitamos un poquito dentro de su justa medida. Porque si dices agua, parece todo el agua del mundo. Si tienes sed y me dices, ¿me traes agua? En inglés se dice, can you bring me some water? ¿Me puedes traer algo de agua? ¿Ok? Poco como francés, para los que sabéis francés. De l'eau, algo de agua. ¿Ok? There's some water in this cup, and there's some ink in this pen. Y en la pregunta, is there some? No. Is there any water in this cup? Yes, there is. Is there any ink in this pen? Yes, there is. Todavía hay. There is some ink in this pen, and there is some water in this cup. Is there? Vamos a la leche. La leche que puede estar en una botella dentro del frigorífico. ¿Hay una botella de leche en tu frigorífico? Is there? Is there, singular. Is there a bottle of milk in your refrigerator? Yes, there's a bottle of milk. En efecto lo hay. Yes, there's a bottle of milk in my refrigerator. O negativo sería no, there isn't a bottle of milk in my refrigerator. Repito lo del último bloque. No hay botella de leche, no hay una botella de leche, decimos en inglés. Igual que en el afirmativo. Hay una botella de leche, no hay una botella. There's a bottle of milk in my refrigerator. There isn't a bottle of milk in my refrigerator. Ahora es un poco rebuscado o barroco decir una botella de leche. Hay leche. Se entiende que va en botellas o en cartones. Hay leche en la nevera, en mi nevera. There's some milk. There is, There's some milk in my refrigerator. No, there isn't any milk in my refrigerator. Y la pregunta sería, is there any milk in your refrigerator? Si en castellano diríais, ¿hay leche en tu frigorífico? Sí hay leche en mi frigorífico, o no, no hay leche en mi frigorífico. Ahora en inglés, pregunta primero, is there any milk in your refrigerator? Yes, there is some milk in my refrigerator. No, there isn't any milk in my refrigerator. Okay. Is there a dog in your house? Yes. Si hay perro. Yes, there's a dog in my house. No, no hay ningún perro en mi casa. No, there isn't a dog. Si yo dijera aquí any dog, estoy convirtiendo la palabra perro en incontable, como si fuera carne de perro. Si yo digo there isn't any dog in my house, estoy literalmente diciendo, no, no hay nada de perro en mi casa. Vale, últimamente no compro perro. Ok, suena muy raro, como si fuera una carne. Is there a dog in your house? No, there isn't a dog in my house. Is there any butter? Mantequilla. Is there any butter in your refrigerator? Yes, there's some butter in my refrigerator. Is there any cheese? Queso, fromage. Is there any cheese in your kitchen? Yes, there is some cheese. There is some cheese in my kitchen. Is there any olive oil in your kitchen? Aceite de oliva. Yes, there is some olive oil in my kitchen. Is there any oil? Ahora, cuando digo oil, puede ser aceite o puede ser petróleo. Según el contexto se entiende uno u otro. Is there any oil in Spain? Ahí es petróleo. No, there isn't any oil in Spain. Is there any olive oil in Spain? Yes, there is some olive oil in Spain. Is there any meat, carne, in your refrigerator? Yes, there is some meat in my refrigerator. Is there any margarine, margarina? Is there any margarine in your refrigerator? No, there isn't any margarine in my refrigerator. Is there any manchego cheese in your kitchen? No, there isn't any manchego cheese in my kitchen. Is there any roncal cheese in your kitchen? Yes, there is some roncal cheese. Is there any Cabrales cheese in your kitchen? No, there isn't any Cabrales cheese in my kitchen. Is there any French cheese in your kitchen? Yes, there's some French cheese in my kitchen. Is there any water in this cup? Yes, there's some water in this cup. Is there any water in this pen? No, there isn't any water in this pen. Ok, es un inicio. Volveremos con más. Ahora a la publicidad. Thank you. Ok, un minuto, vamos a hacer cosas. Is there any water in the Sahara Desert? No, there isn't any water in the Sahara Desert. Is there any water in Asturias? Yes, there is some water in Asturias. Is there any wine in this cup? No, there isn't any wine in this cup. Is there any money in the Banco de España? Yes, there is some money in the Banco de España. Money es incontable, ¿eh? ¿Lo sabíais? No puedes contar dinero. Puedes contar euros, pesetas, pesos, dólares. Pero no puedo decir tengo 3 dineros en el bolsillo. There isn't any money. There is some money. Is there any money in your pocket? Yes, there is some money in my pocket. Okay, otro profe me va a relevar, así se dice, durante unos minutos. Pero luego vuelvo. Tenemos mucho trabajo, ¿eh? Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Muchas gracias, Richard. Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Hannah. Estamos aquí otra vez con vosotros para poner en práctica, pues esto, todo lo de inglés, ¿ok? Bien, pues saludamos a José, mi amigo e invitado especial. Hello, José.
Hello, Hannah.
How are you today?
Fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Bueno, I'm a little hungry. Tengo un poco de hambre. ¿Por qué? Aquí en la mesa tenemos un montón de cosas para practicar. ¿Qué? Las cosas incontables. Okay, vamos a hablar de cosas incontables, sustantivos incontables. ¿Vale? Empezamos diciendo, hay vino en la botella. Hay vino en la botella. Afirmativo. There's some wine in the bottle. Okay, repeat. There's some wine in the bottle.
There's some wine in the bottle.
Repeat. There's some.
There's some.
There
is some wine in the bottle.
Okay, good. There's, usamos la contracción de there is, contraído, there's some. Some usamos antes de que sustantivos incontables. Y la pronunciación, a ver, some. No some, some. Eso, some. Muy bien. Seguimos. There's some milk in the bottle. There's some milk in the bottle. Ahora, quiero que sigas diciendo las cosas que hay. A ver.
Vamos allá. El pan lo dejo para el último, que there's some water in the glass.
Very good. There's some water in the glass. Siguiente.
There's some coffee in the tin.
Good. In the tin.
Tin.
Tin. Muy bien. In the tin. Recipiente. Good. There's some coffee in the tin. Muy bien. Sigue.
That.
Okay.
Nos quedan ganas de comerlo.
I know,
Ya
yo
la hora que es.
también, que no hemos comido. Okay. Okay, sigue.
There's some bread in the plate.
Okay, in the plate, o sea, in the plate, así, in the plate como dentro del plato, or on the plate. On the plate, yes.
On the plate.
Okay, repeat the sentence.
There's some bread on the plate.
Yes, there's some bread on the plate. Okay,
There's some milk.
ahora in the bottle.
Estaba con el otro.
Right, dentro de, in the bottle.
There's some milk. There's some milk in the bottle.
Very good. There's some milk in the bottle. There's some milk in the bottle. Sigue. Oh, mira, aquí. El boli.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's some ink in the pen.
Very good. There's some ink in the pen. Muy bien. Ahora, ¿la sal?
Shaker?
Yes, eso es un salt shaker. Eso.
Shaker,
sí, salero.
salero.
Shaker.
There's some salt.
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 Okay. There's some salt in the shaker.
Muy bien. There's some salt in the shaker. Muy bien. Very good. Solo falta que jamón. Un poco de jamón,
Jamón.
por favor. That would be wonderful. Me gustaría decir there's some ham on the plate. Bueno, desaparecería muy rápido así. Bueno, menos mal que no hay. Ok, ahora seguimos. Ahora te pregunto si hay cosas y tal. Y tú respondes en qué. Con la frase corta, la respuesta corta, the short answer. Is there any ink in the pen? Is there any ink in the pen?
Yes, there is.
Muy bien. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Solo esas tres palabras. Yes, there is. Muy bien. Is there any water in the glass?
Yes, there is.
Good. Yes, there is. Is there any wine in the bottle?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Ok, muy bien. Bueno, hay vino, pero bueno, casi nada. Ok, ahora dame el negativo. ¿Cómo se dice el negativo? No, there isn't. Ahora
Okay.
imagínate esto está vacío. So, is there any milk in the bottle?
No, there isn't.
Very good. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Okay. Is there any salt in the shaker?
No, there isn't.
Good. No, there isn't. Is there any coffee in the tin?
No, there isn't.
Good. Okay. Muy bien. Ahora afirmativo. Is there any ink in the pen?
Yes, there is.
Good. Yes, there is. Is there any water in the glass?
Yes, there is.
Good. Is there any water in your glass?
Yes, there is.
Good. Is there any bread on? Recuerda, on, la preposición on, not in, que sería dentro de. Is there any bread on the plate?
Yes, there is.
Muy bien. Is there any ham, jamón? Is there any ham on the plate?
No, there isn't.
Okay, no, there isn't. Unfortunately, desafortunadamente. Okay, is there any cheese, queso? Is there any cheese on the plate?
No, there isn't.
Okay, good. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Muy bien. Is there any wine in the bottle?
Yes, there is.
Okay, muy bien. Miente. He's lying. Okay, no hay vino. No hay vino. Dame el negativo. Is there any wine in the bottle?
No, there isn't.
Okay, no, there isn't. Está vacía. La botella está vacía. The bottle is empty. No hay nada. Okay. Is there any milk in the bottle?
Yes, there is.
Okay, otra vez miente. No. Okay, sí. No hay leche. Bueno, no podemos tener comida aquí. Pues estaríamos picando todo el día. Okay, is there any water in the glass?
Yes, there is.
Ahora sí, hay agua. Yes, there is. Muy bien. Okay, is there any ink in the pen?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Is there any bread on the plate?
Yes, there is.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
Eso. Yes, no. Yes, 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 there is. Is there any ham on the plate?
No, there isn't.
Is there any cheese on the plate?
No, there isn't.
Is there any salt in the shaker?
Yes, there is.
Good, yes, there is. Is there any coffee in the tin?
Yes, there is.
Good. Is there any wine in the bottle?
No, there isn't.
Okay, no, there isn't. Alguien lo ha vivido todo. Okay, is there any milk in the bottle?
No, there isn't.
No, there isn't. Muy bien. Is there any salt in the shaker?
Yes, there
Yes
is.
or yes?
Yes. Yes.
There is. Muy bien. Yes, there is. Muy bien. Buen trabajo. Pues ahora os paso con Richard.
Okay, let's continue. Allí, all right? Is there a refrigerator in your kitchen? Yes, there is. Is there a pharmacy near your house? Is there any medicine in the pharmacy? Yes, there is. There's some medicine in the pharmacy. Is there a bathroom? Bathroom. Un cuarto de baño. Is there a bathroom in your house? Yes, there is. Is there any medicine in the bathroom? Yes, there is. Is there a dog in your house? No, there isn't. There isn't a dog in my house. Is there any water in your refrigerator? Yes, there is some water in my refrigerator. Is there a bottle of milk in your refrigerator? Yes, there is a bottle of milk in my refrigerator. Is there any milk in the bottle? Yes, por supuesto, of course. There's some milk in the bottle. There's some milk in the bottle. Is there any chicken in your refrigerator? Yes, there is some chicken in my refrigerator. Is there any pork, carne de porcino, in your refrigerator? Carne de cerdo. Yes, there is some pork in my refrigerator. Is there any bacon in your refrigerator? Yes, there's some bacon in my refrigerator too. And is there any tomato juice? Jugo de tomate, zumo de tomate. Is there any tomato juice in your refrigerator? No, there isn't any tomato juice in my refrigerator. Is there any orange juice in your refrigerator? Yes, there's some orange juice in my refrigerator. Is there any grape juice? Zumo de uva. Is there any grape juice in your refrigerator? Yes, there's some grape juice in my refrigerator. Is there any bread in your refrigerator? Pan en la nevera? No, there isn't. Is there any bread in your kitchen? Yes, there's some bread in my kitchen. Is there any ice? Ice, ¿eso qué es? Ice, son ojos. No, ice, no eyes. Ice. Yo quiero saber si hay ojos en tu cocina. Quiero saber si hay hielo en la nevera. Is there any ice? Escrito ice. Is there any ice? Is there any? Is there any ice? Is there any ice in your refrigerator? No, there isn't any ice in my refrigerator. No. There isn't any ice in my refrigerator. There's some ice in my freezer. I have a refrigerator one side and a freezer on the other. Congelador. There's some ice in my freezer. In your freezer. Is there any ice cream? Yum, helado. Is there any ice cream? Ice cream in your freezer? Yes, there's some ice cream in my freezer. Is there any chocolate? Chocolate. Chocolate. Son dos sílabas. Chocolate. Chocolate. N-E-S-T-L-E-S. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. Chocolate. Is there any chocolate ice cream in your freezer? Yes, there's some chocolate ice cream in my freezer. Is there any chicken in your freezer? Yes, there's some chicken in my freezer. Is there any bread in your freezer? No, there isn't any bread in my freezer. There isn't any bread in my freezer. Is there any water in the Atlantic Ocean? Yes, there's some water in the Atlantic Ocean. Is there any water in the atmosphere? Yes, there's some water in the atmosphere. Is there any cotton? Cotton, algodón. Is there any cotton in Spain? Yes, there's some cotton in Spain. Where? In Seville, Andalusia. In the province of Seville, there's some cotton. Is there any cotton in Texas? Yes, there's some cotton in Texas. Is there a tall building near your house? Yes, in my case, there's a tall building near my house. Is there a train station near your house? No, there isn't a train station. Ahora he saltado de palabras incontables a palabras contables. He saltado de lo que es hielo, leche, agua, carne vacuno, carne porcino, a una estación de tren, un cine, una farmacia, que son cosas contables. Puedes contar una farmacia, dos farmacias, tres farmacias, pero no puedes contar agua o leche. Tres leches, bueno, en español decís tres leches, pero en inglés, leche es lo que se bebe. Okay? Some milk. Y no puedes decir 3 milks. There is some milk in my refrigerator, but there isn't any milk in my bedroom, mi dormitorio. There isn't any milk in my bedroom. There's a computer in my bedroom, but there isn't a computer in my kitchen. There's some ice in my freezer, but there isn't any ice in my bathroom. All right? There is some milk in my kitchen, but there isn't any milk in my living room. All right? There is a table in my living room, but there isn't a table in my kitchen. There's a bed in my bedroom, but there isn't a bed in my bathroom. There's some medicine in my bathroom, but there isn't any medicine in my bedroom. All right, there's some cheese in my refrigerator, but there isn't any cheese in my bathroom. Okay? Hay un perro en mi cocina. There's a dog in my kitchen. Hay carne en mi cocina. There's some meat in my kitchen. Escuchad de nuevo. Hay un perro. There's a dog in my kitchen, and there's some meat in my kitchen. There isn't a dog in my kitchen. There isn't any meat in my kitchen. Meat es incontable. Carne, la carne. No puedes decir tengo 3 carnes. Okay? Hay algo de carne. There's some meat in my kitchen. Y hay un perro. There's a dog. All right? Is there any oil in Iran? Yes, there is. Is there any oil in Texas? Petróleo en Texas? Yes, there is. Is there any olive oil de oliva in Jaén? Yes, there is. Is there a palace, a beautiful palace in Granada? Yes, there is. The Alhambra. Okay. Seguimos, pero de momento yo descanso y otros amigos míos continúan. Thank you.
Gracias, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Soy Leila, I'm Leila, y estoy aquí con mi alumna Ángeles.
Ángeles, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
And how are you? Fine? Good. Hoy vamos a ver 5 palabras nuevas, ¿vale? Como hacemos en muchas clases. Y me va a ayudar mi alumna, ¿vale? Y luego vamos a continuar con lo que os ha explicado Richard, ¿vale? Vamos a practicar lo que acabáis de ver con Richard. Entonces, os pregunto, ¿cómo se dice barato? ¿Barato? ¿Ángeles?
Cheap.
Cheap. Muy bien, ¿vale? Cheap. No recordéis, el primer sonido es ch y la p del final, p, ¿vale? Tiene que salir aire. P. Cheap. Lo estáis diciendo en voz alta, ¿verdad? Cheap. La segunda es difícil. Ángeles, ¿cómo se dice difícil?
Difficult.
Difficult. Muy bien. Very good. Ok. Difficult. Y aquí recordad la D y la T del final. Difficult. ¿Vale? Difficult. La siguiente es sucio. Sucio, ¿me puedes ayudar? ¿Nos puedes ayudar?
Dirty.
Very good, okay. Dirty. Dirty. Yo diría dirty, porque las T's de entre medias no las pronunciamos, pero quiero que forcéis la pronunciación. Quiero que digáis la T porque es un sonido muy importante en inglés. Dirty. Recordad la D. Dirty. La cuarta es juego. ¿Cómo se dice juego?
Game.
Game. Very good. All right.
Thank you.
Game. La G, G, viene de aquí, ¿vale? G, game, game. Y la quinta, the fifth one, es, ¿qué se pone aquí en la mano? Cuando tenemos frío, que nos ponemos un guante. ¿Cómo se dice guante en inglés?
Glow. Glow.
Se dice glove.
Glove.
Very good. A ver, dilo otra vez.
Glove.
One more time, otra vez.
Glove.
Glove, ¿vale? La G, otra vez, un sonido que viene de aquí, G, y la V, que tenéis que poner los dientes de arriba en el labio de abajo, ¿vale? V, glove. Muy bien, ok, very good. Habéis practicado, ¿verdad? ¿A que sí? Pues entonces, vamos a pasar ahora a practicar lo que habéis visto con Richard, ¿vale? Los incontables. Vamos a hacer todos los incontables. ¿Cómo se dice esto? ¿Cómo se dice esto? ¿Me puedes decir cómo se dice? ¿Sabéis cómo se dice esto?
Salt.
Salt, ¿ok? Entonces, ¿y dónde está la sal? ¿Sabéis cómo se dice esto? Porque lo que está dentro es salt, pero esta cosita se llama salt shaker, ¿vale? Salt shaker. Se llama salt shaker. Bueno, lo voy a tener aquí, ¿vale? Ángeles,
Okay. Yeah.
is there any salt in the salt shaker?
Yes, there is some salt on the.
On?
In.
Encima. In,
In.
dentro, ¿no? Dentro. Cuidado con las preposiciones. On es encima. In es dentro. ¿Vale? Pero no pasa nada. Te voy a preguntar otra vez. Is there any salt in the salt shaker?
Yes, there is some salt in the salt shaker.
Ok, muy bien. Al ser positivo decimos some, ¿vale? Pero ya no ha juntado los sonidos. Os lo voy a decir yo otra vez y os voy a explicar lo que os quiero decir. Yes, there is some, is some. Al haber dos sonidos similares, tenemos que juntar. Is some, ¿vale? O sea que suena como si fuera una palabra solamente, ¿vale? Yes, there is, perdón. Yes, there is some salt in the salt shaker, ¿vale? ¿Me lo puedes decir una vez más?
Okay. Yes, there is some salt on the salt shaker.
On?
In the salt shaker.
Cuidado, no cometéis el mismo fallo, ¿vale? In, recordad siempre in porque está dentro. Ángeles. One more time.
Okay.
Is there any salt in the salt shaker?
Yes, there is some salt on the salt in the salt shaker.
Okay.
And
On? No.
in.
In. Una vez más.
Yes, there is some salt in the salt shaker.
Okay, in the salt shaker. All right? Very good. Yes, there is some salt in the salt shaker. Okay? Ahora vamos a hacer uno negativo. Coffee, ¿ok? Y esto es milk, ¿vale? Vamos a hacerlo con este. Is there any milk in the coffee?
No, there isn't any milk in the coffee.
Ok, good. Pero no me has dicho la T. No, there isn't. Siempre marcando las T's porque es negativo, ¿vale? No, there isn't any milk in the coffee. ¿Ok? Muy bien. Entonces, con no es no, there isn't any. Positivo. Yes, there is some. Negativo. No, there isn't any. ¿Ok? Vamos a esto de aquí que tenemos. ¿Cómo se dice esto?
A bottle.
Ok, a bottle. ¿Pero qué hay?
Wine.
Inside. Wine. Very good. Wine. Okay? Now, is there any milk in the wine?
No, there isn't any milk in the wine.
No oigo la T.
No, there isn't.
Very good. ¿Habéis oído? No, there isn't any.
There isn't any milk on the wine.
On?
In the wine.
In the wine. Ok. Cuidado con las preposiciones, ¿vale? Es una cuestión de práctica, no os preocupéis, siempre practicando en voz alta, pero es in, dentro, ¿vale? One more time.
Okay.
Te pregunto otra vez, ¿vale? Y quiero que respondáis vosotros también. Is there any milk in the wine?
No, there isn't any milk in the wine.
Ok, ¿habéis oído la T? Porque yo no he oído la T.
No, there isn't any milk in the wine.
Excellent, ok. No, there, siempre con cuidado con ese sonido. No, there isn't any milk in the wine. Ok, very good. All right, is there any, la mesita pequeña, is there any wine on the small table?
No, there isn't any wine on the small table.
Ok, good. Cuidado con las the, no there, ¿vale? Una vez más.
No, there isn't any wine on the small table.
Exactly, okay? No, there isn't any wine on the small table, okay? All right, is there any coffee? Is there any coffee in the milk?
No, there isn't.
Cuidado, no, there. Recordad ese sonido, no, there. Poniendo la lengua entre los dientes, ¿vale? Y echando aire fuera. There.
No, there isn't any wine in the milk.
Any coffee. He dicho
Any-
coffee,
any
¿no?
coffee.
He dicho coffee.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, so, no, there isn't any coffee in the milk.
Good. No, there isn't any coffee in the milk. Practicando en voz alta y os paso con Richard.
Ok, casi hemos terminado. Escuchad un momento. Hay una caja fuerte en esta habitación y hay dinero en la caja. ¿Eh? Escuchad en inglés. There's a safe in this room and there's some money in the safe. Ok. Ahora vamos a hacer el negativo. No hay caja fuerte en esta habitación y no hay dinero en dicha caja. There isn't a safe. There isn't a safe in this room, and there isn't any money in the safe. Y por último, el interrogativo. ¿Hay caja fuerte en esta habitación? ¿Hay dinero en dicha caja? Is there a safe in this room? Is there any money in the safe? Pues si hay, que sea para mí. All right. Bueno, ya hemos terminado por hoy. No está mal. Ok, ahora te toca estudiar un poco y practicar un poco, pero mañana nos vemos. Thank you.